Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com with our Sunday morning Week 16 NFL betting odds update. Sorry I don't have a more creative name for it, but I can tell you the odds screen lighting up like a Christmas tree here, appropriately enough, for Week 16. Of course, we saw Week 16 begin last night. Redskins get the cover over the Titans. Baltimore outright upset winner out in Los Angeles in a game that, really not the outcome that a lot of the teams on Sunday with playoff implications were looking for in the AFC. Over at BangTheBook.com, lots of great stuff for you to check out here this morning. Alan Moody's got his articles up, including his NFL system picks. Danny Vorgs' NFL power ratings, 60% here on the season, 58% or 57% lifetime over at BangTheBook.com. You certainly want to check those out over there. We've got prop betting picks, we've got NFL best bets, top NFL betting trends, lots of good things going on for you to check out over at the website here this morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at the odds updates that we've seen so far on Sunday morning. Good amount of movement out there in the marketplace. Nothing overly significant in terms of crossing through key numbers or anything like that, but lots of money getting moved around here on this Sunday morning. Go ahead and start with the first game on the board, game 101-102. Tampa Bay taking on Dallas. Dallas down to a 7-point favorite market wide. Did have some 7.5s and a straight 8 out there in the middle of the week. Now we're down to 7. A lot of places dealing 7 minus $1.15 on the Cowboys. Total on this game in the 48 range. That hasn't moved a whole lot here of late as well. And, obviously the big question here, how motivated is Tampa Bay? Are they excited to go out here and play out the string with these last two games with a lame duck head coach and a lot of changes coming up? And Dallas, certainly this game means a lot to them with Philadelphia nipping at their heels there in the NFC East. Dallas still 7-point favorite, minus $1.15 on that game. Next game on the board here, game 103-104, Baltimore and New England. Not a whole lot of movement in this one since I recorded my Friday video on gave out a pick on every NFL game here. Split down the middle yesterday. Washington did cover. The Chargers did not. So we split down the middle with the two Saturday games. But in this one here, New England 13.5-point favorite. Total on this game down into the 44.5 range. I would certainly think that a dropping total would help Buffalo because the fewer points in this game, the more likely they are to cover with their lackluster offense. And, of course, the very big spread on this game as well of 13.5. Little surprised we haven't seen more Buffalo money hit the board, but there is a chance, of course, that still comes in here on Sunday morning. Game 105-106, Atlanta and Carolina. The 3.5s that were out there in the middle of the week are gone after the adjustment with Cam Newton being out. 3 pretty much plus money here on Atlanta, so we could see 2.5 at some of the sharper offshores before all is said and done for this game. Total on this one right now in the 44.5 range, open 47.5, an adjustment with Cam Newton now. But like I said on Friday's show, the Panthers are one of my favorite plays of the weekend here. Taylor Heineke can actually throw the ball down the field. Maybe that provides some points here in this one. So maybe the over 44.5, something that people may want to look at here a little bit. Again, obviously it's the month of December, so make sure you're checking all the weather forecasts before you lock in any totals plays. Game 109-110, Jacksonville and Miami battle down in the Sunshine State. Miami 3.5-point favorite here. Most of those 3.5s coming in at plus money or minus 105. Jacksonville very clearly the sharp side in this game. Tough to take the Jaguars, obviously, with their offense. Defense is still solid, but there aren't a whole lot of believers out there in the Miami Dolphins. We're seeing that in the marketplace here today. I mentioned on Friday, I think Miami's probably worth a shot at 3.5, even at the plus money price. I wouldn't recommend buying it down to 3. I just don't think it's really worth it in this situation. But obviously, Miami, a very, very tough team to back right now with the fact that they're just not particularly good. And Jacksonville, all a matter of if they show up here tonight or not. Not really sure that's going to be the case. Giants and Indianapolis, game 111-112. Indianapolis, one of the teams negatively affected by the fact that Baltimore was the outright upset winner in that game last night. Could really change the implications for that Week 17 game against Tennessee. We'll have to wait and see how everything shakes out. But Baltimore getting that win maybe puts a little bit of a damper on the Colts here today. Maybe it's win and get out mode and hope for the best in Week 17. So this is one of those spots where Indianapolis is up to a 10-point favorite. Total on this game, 48. I'm not sure I can lay the price with Indianapolis now. If Baltimore had lost last night and Indy, maybe got a little bit of a push from that, sure. Of course, in this game, though, the Giants without Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard's banged up, Eli Manning's, played out the whole season, and he's towards the twilight of his career. Tough game. Real tough game. Hopefully you listened on Friday, use that 6.5-point teaser on Indianapolis and Cleveland to bring them down to 2.5, because that chance is no longer there in both of those games. Houston, Philadelphia, game 113-114. Philadelphia back up to a 2.5-point favorite here. Was 1.5 yesterday. Probably just some public money driving the Philadelphia side here. Houston is a tough team for sharp players to bet, but there is a clear overreaction in the market to the transition from Carson Wentz to Nick Foles. And again, maybe Philadelphia is just more invested now with Nick Foles back behind center. Maybe they feel he gives them a better chance to win. But, Houston has been a pretty solid team throughout the season. Something of a regression candidate, and we're seeing that a little bit in the market here with this one. But Philadelphia now up to a 2.5-point favorite. Total on the game, 46.5, 47. That is climbing. So apparently people do believe that the Philadelphia offense a little bit more potent with Nick Foles out there. And I agree with that sentiment, given the limitations for Carson Wentz this season. Minnesota and Detroit, this one's up to 6.5. Total on the game, 43. We got a couple of 42.5s out there in the market. Matt Stafford is not healthy. Expected to give it a go here today, but with his status so cloudy, not a big surprise to see Minnesota money coming in. I think Minnesota will be a very popular teaser team today. Not a great card from a teaser standpoint at all whatsoever, but Minnesota, one of the teams you can obviously consider in that 6.5 range, bringing them down to pick or a virtual pick at -0.5 point. Green Bay and the Jets. Green Bay, 2.5-point favorite with extra juice or 3+ money or reduced juice out there. Aaron Rodgers going to play, even though the Packers have nothing to play for. Said he wants to be a leader, but maybe tough to lead here with the situation that the Packers are in. Obviously Joe Philbin's not getting this job. We'll see how motivated they are. Once again, a very banged up team on the offensive line. Some defensive injuries once again. And the Jets, while they're not very good, they have gotten a shot in the arm here with Sam Darnold back behind center. Maybe they bring a pretty good effort to Meadowlands tonight. Like I said, I think the under is the way I would honestly look at that game. Under 46.5, under 47, but not a game I have significant interest in. Cincinnati and Cleveland, the Browns 10-point favorite market wide. It's a big number. But you look at the Bengals, again, no A.J. Green, no Tyler Boyd, no Andy Dalton. Very inept and probably impotent offense here for the Bengals in this one. Browns eliminated from playoff contention with yesterday's Tennessee win, so they don't really have anything to play for. But don't tell them that, because this is a Browns organization on the rise. I think they certainly expect good things to come going forward. Next week's game, certainly does mean something for Baltimore. But in this situation here, I think you have to look at passing on the game, to be totally honest with you. I just don't think that this is a situation where you really want to get too involved with a Cleveland team that has expectations, and significant ones at that, for the first time in a very, very long time. So I think I would stay off of this game, but I certainly understand why people like the Cleveland side. And again, like I said on Friday's video, I think teasing the Browns down to 2.5 was the correct play for this game. That opportunity no longer there. Rams in Arizona. Rams had gotten up to 14.5 market wide. Now we've come back down a little bit. Todd Gurley probably not going to play. The Cardinals, not a very good team, as we all know. But still, 14, big number to lay here with this Rams team. It just doesn't really seem invested in blowing anybody out at this time of the year. Chicago, San Francisco, we're back up to 4.5, 5 here. Probably public money driving that bus on the Chicago Bears. 49ers took the initial hits early in the week from 5 down all the way to 3.5. Been just steady trickles of Chicago Bears money the rest of the week. Not a game I'm overly interested in by any means, but if you've got to play something here in the 4 o'clock games, I think I would probably look for the under in that one, because I think the Bears want to run the football, want to establish the run, keep Jordan Howard's momentum going. Maybe they try to get Mitch Trubisky some confidence, but I think this is a win and get out type of situation for Chicago if they can help it. Pittsburgh and New Orleans up to 6.5 market wide here with the Saints taking some money. Juju Smith-Schuster will give it a go for Pittsburgh today. James Conner not able to get out there on the field. we'll see James Conner in the first round of the playoffs, I think. No reason to use him next week against Cincinnati. But in this game here, I have a hard time with the Saints. I mean, I think the Saints will be a very popular teaser play as well. Minnesota and New Orleans will be probably the top teaser card for everybody out there playing those. But up to 6.5 here does surprise me a little bit. The Saints offense has not looked like a team capable of covering big numbers here over the last few weeks, and certainly not against a Pittsburgh offense that can score a little bit itself. So I still think Pittsburgh to play there. I did take them with one of my Super Contest picks for this week. So we'll see if the Steelers are able to come through and cover the number, or possibly even get that outright upset win and keep pace with Baltimore in the AFC North. Kansas City, Seattle, we're starting to see the Seattle money come through, down to +2 out there in the market. Was 2.5 pretty much throughout the week. Now we're seeing some movement. Total on the game up from 54 to 55. Not seeing a ton of odds moves here this morning on this game. Everybody focusing on the 1 o'clock slate right now. Should see some good money come in. This will be a very heavily bet game. Highest handle of the weekend on this one. I would expect that we see, probably a decent split from public money. People taking Seattle at home, people taking Kansas City because they're so good. So should be a good one here tonight in the NFL. And then real quickly looking at the Monday night football game here. Denver and Oakland. Obviously this one not until tomorrow. Denver's still 3-point favorite. 2.5's out there as well. I think Oakland money comes in tomorrow. If you like Oakland, get a 3 right now because I don't think too many of those will be available by kickoff tomorrow night. Great stuff at BangTheBook.com. Great stuff here on our Bang the Book YouTube page as well. Definitely want to make sure you're checking out all of the resourceful things that we have going on. We'll be recording this afternoon with Kyle Hunter for our Monday show on Bang the Book Radio. So you definitely want to make sure that you check that out before you finish up your last-minute holiday things and shuffle off to those holiday parties and all that type of stuff. So good luck in the NFL here for Week 16. I'm Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com.